All right. Let us get underway. All right, welcome everyone. Is it my opening remarks? It doesn't say who's supposed to give the opening remarks. Call to order. That sounds like me, though. Well, welcome everybody. This is the 6th annual. This is awesome. I'm glad everybody could be here. We got everybody with a name badge except for these folks over here. We don't need them anyway. All right, cool. Well, welcome everybody. It's great. I'm so glad we do this. It's one of my favorite things. I've only gotten to do this once before. So, Dr. Root, get your name tag. Nobody knows who you are. Dr. Root, didn't you hear the bell? We're glad to have you. So I suppose what we should do first is kind of go around the room and do a little introduction of everybody in case everybody doesn't know who everybody is from the name tag in front of them. So why don't you start us off?
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. Before we do that, I think I'd like to get our clerk to do a couple of housekeeping items. I think we have a couple of announcements. So, Madam Clerk, would you please do the announcements?
All right. Well, thank you, Armando. My name is Edna Aguilar, Assistant City Clerk with the City of Menifee. I'm so excited to be here. And I just wanted to share the purpose of tonight's meeting, or today's meeting. So today's summit meeting purpose is to provide a forum for a collaborative conversation regarding key issues that impact schools, staff, students, and families. This year's meeting will identify ways that the city and schools can work together in their respective roles to address the impact of growth and promote safety in our community. And just a few housekeeping items. Today's meeting will be recorded and live streamed. As such, we ask that you use the microphone when speaking to ensure that your voice is heard clearly. If there are any public comments, please see our city clerk in the back, and she will go ahead and take your name. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Again, my name's Armando Villa, and if you're asking why is this meeting being live and recorded, you can thank Mayor Pro Tem Carwin for that.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Bob O'Donnell. I've lived in this community for about 55 years, and I've been on the school board here at the Menifee School District for 41 years. And it's really a pleasure to be here today. My profession before I became a school board member, I was the postmaster here at Sun City, and I served at the post office for over 32 years.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Michelle Wise, Assistant Superintendent in the Romaland School District. I've been there 12 years, and this is my 8th year in that role. And I've been to this before, so thanks for having me back.
Good afternoon, Jennifer Root, Superintendent of Menifee Union School District. I want to say traffic was hard getting here from there, but actually I was up in Ontario at a community engagement initiative workshop that is a grant we have in the district, and if we don't attend, we don't get the money. And so I flew down here, but traffic is hard coming down here in the afternoon. And I actually started my 6th year with Menifee Union School District just last weekend. So excited to be here.
I'm Robert Hennings. I'm the superintendent of Santa Rosa Academy. And like Dr. Root, 6 years with Santa Rosa Academy. We both came to Menifee about the same time. This is my 5th summit. I wasn't here for the inaugural one.
Hi, I'm Jeremy Brown. I'm the Vice President of Instruction at Mount San Jacinto College. Super happy to be here. I attended one of these, I believe, 3 or 4 years ago, and we've had others that came through. I live in Temecula, but I've been working in Menifee since 17 years ago. I was faculty at our Menifee campus, and I've been in this role for quite a while. So definitely feel connected with this community.
All right, well, good afternoon. My name's Chris Carr. I'm the Chief of Police for Menifee. In my 3rd year as the chief, 6th year as an employee here at Menifee, and I've lived out in this valley for the last 20 years and law enforcement for 26 and 4 in the Marine Corps. So thank you all for your time here.
Good afternoon, Mark Scoville, Fire Chief for the City of Menifee. Been here in the city at that role for the last 2 years, 31 years in the fire service.
Good afternoon, Nick Fiddler, Public Works Director for the city. This is my 4th year with this summit, so I've been with the city just over 4 years.
Good afternoon. Orlando Hernandez, Community Development Director. Been with the city a little bit over 4 years. I can actually say I have about 2 weeks more of seniority than Nick, so happy to be here.
Hi again, Edna Aguilar, Assistant City Clerk with the City of Menifee, and I have been in the city for about 10 years, so a little bit of seniority here, but about 6 months in my current role.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Shauna Egan's. I'm the Assistant Superintendent of Ed Services for the Paris Union High School District, and I have been in this role for 8 months.
My name is Alfredo Andrade. I'm the Chief Human Resource Officer for Paris Union High School District. I've been in my role for 1 year and part of the community for going on 4 years now.
Hello, everybody. My name is Jose Araux, and I have the privilege to serve all of our constituents as a superintendent of the wonderful Paris Union High School District. I have been living in this community in Paris for 27 years. Two of my kids, Marie and Joseph, graduated from Paris High School, and I'm really grateful to our district for the quality of education that they provided to my kids, and that's what we are continue to look forward to improve it, to even have better education, and I want to share some details with you later on in terms of that. And I appreciate the invite and the collaboration with Menifee in order to provide the best possible service to our students. Thank you.
How you doing? It's an honor to be here. My name is Charles Hall, and I'm a trustee, and it's my first year. Thank you.
Good. Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Marguerite Williams, Assistant Sup of Business Services in Paris Union. Happy to be here.
Good afternoon, Rebecca Kramer. I'm the Deputy City Manager for the City of Menifee. We welcome you.
Hello, everyone. Ben Diederich. I am the council member for District 2 on the west side of town. My first time being able to attend this education summit, so very happy to be here, and a proud alumni of MSJC back in the 90s. So.
And back to me, my name is Bob Carwin. Due to the deployment of our Mayor Estrada, who is in the Air Force Reserves, I will be the acting mayor for the next 6 months, and this is my second tour of duty on this committee. I'm really glad to do it. For those who don't know, I've been in Menifee for over 20 years. Both of my kids went from Ridgemore to Menifee Middle School to Paloma Valley High School and are now both in Illinois. So I don't know what that means for our community. I don't know if that's educational at all for us, but I'm a parent product of our entire school system here, so I've engaged with each one of you in different ways. Well, I get that. Did we get everybody? I think we did. All right. So moving on, the next item on our agenda is public comments. Do we have any requests to speak, Michael? All right. Any other public comments? All right, hearing none. We do have, for those of you who had a chance to look at the packet, we've got the minutes from the previous meeting, which was November 12 of 2024. I've been instructed by our city attorney that if you did not attend that meeting, you don't have to abstain because you don't have to object to what's in there. So unless you have something that you think is wrong with it, you don't need to abstain because you weren't at that meeting. So we'll go ahead and for those who are in favor of approving the minutes, we'll hear aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? All right, the minutes pass unanimously. Were you trying to get my attention? Oh. So next up is the item number 5, the discussion and roundtable. Who's going to lead the discussion for the city?
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. At this point, I'd like to ask our Deputy City Manager, Rebecca Kramer, to introduce some of the staff members that are going to be presenting tonight.
Welcome, everybody. We are pleased to have you this afternoon. I always think this is a great opportunity to have a good dialogue between the city and what's going on with each of you as we look to all of the things that are going to impact Menifee's future involving our youth. Since we last met, we've, of course, been very diligently working towards implementation of our strategic plan initiatives, particularly those things that directly impact what we're going to be talking about today with our education summit themes of promoting safety, and of course addressing the impacts of growth in our community. So for the second year in a row, we are pleased to announce that the city was ranked 18th safest city, which is really an incredible achievement for a city as young as ours, and a testament to, of course, our police department, as well as fire department, public works, all of the staff that support those initiatives that make this a great community to live in. As, of course, more people continue to move into Menifee and call this home, the city continues to invest in our infrastructure. We have a wide range of capital projects, which our Public Works Director, Nick Fidler, will be talking a little bit more about. And then the city is continuing to work towards providing you with some updates on our law enforcement initiatives that are underway, infrastructure and projects, as well as our public education and safety programs you're going to be hearing a little bit more about. And I'm really pleased to be able to announce that we have our new Menifee Leaders of Tomorrow program, which our city clerk's office is going to be talking more about. So with that, I would like to introduce Orlando, our Community Development Director, to talk a little bit more about what's going on with residential development and the like. So Orlando.
Thank you, Rebecca. Again, thank you everyone for being here. First time participating in this summit, so I'm excited to be here. I want to give you a little bit of an update on some of the projects that we have. We continue to be busy. Obviously, all of our projects directly impact all of you guys, since they generate students, and projects continue to come in, continue to develop, and I'll give you some of the updates. In the packet, it was a flyer included with community development. It breaks down some of the construction projects that we have under different phases. So I'll start with projects that are currently under construction. And I'm going to jump around from project to project, but three out of those 8 projects, essentially, they're now completed. First one is Outlet Ranch, which is just a project on the east side of the 215 on Antelope. Again, 303 single-family homes. It's pretty much done. I think we're doing certificate of occupancies on the last final homes. So that's done. That's a unique project to us because that's a for-rent product, so which is the first one in the city. We also have the Village, which are some condo units, 126, just on the west side of the 250 and close to McLaughlin Road. Again, that one's also just about completed. And Boulders project, another unique project for us because that's our first mixed-use project that we have. That one's on Normandy Road. That one has approximately 234 apartment units. It's fully constructed. We're about to issue certificate of occupancy, so we're going to start seeing residents come in. So those schools around that area will probably see an increase in student population for sure. So those 3 are completed. The other ones, they're under construction. We've seen a little bit of a slowdown, but they continue steady. Legado, we've issued about 52 occupancies on that out of a little bit over 1,000 units that are going there. There's also park that is included there as well. Legado is one of the actually it's the first specific plan that we approve as a city since we incorporated. Cimarron Ridge, that's a specific plan that was approved in the county. Out of the 756 homes, we've issued 450 occupancies already. So we're 3/4 of the way there. So that one's moving pretty strong. We're going to have also a 10-acre park on that community as well. River Walk, that's more of an infill project on Bradley, north on Newport. That's roughly 200 units, and we've issued about 45 occupancies there. That one, we expected it was going to be a little more aggressive, but it's not as aggressive as we thought. Courts Trails, that's 80 units along Holland and Evans. On that one, we have about 45 occupancies as well. And then the last one on the list, it's Banner Park South. That's just on the at the intersection of Briggs and Dominigoni Parkway. That's 182 total units, and right now we got about 46 that we've issued for occupancy there. Another one that is not on the list, but I do want to mention, it's a project that it's called now the Haven. That's on Garbani and Evans, and the reason I mentioned that because that's immediately adjacent to Menifee Middle School. It's 174 total units, but it's roughly, half of that. It's because what they're doing is they're in a single-family home and an ADU as well. So it's half the lots, but total units 174. That's our first project where we have a developer that's doing a main house and an ADU in each of the lots. So we've been approached a couple of times. This is the first project that is moving forward like that. In regards to future construction, these are projects that are already approved. They just barely started grading or they just started construction. We haven't issued any CFOs yet. We have for model homes, but nothing in terms of production. The first one is Nautical Cove. That one is along Briggs in Holland. That one started construction already, and we've issued about 6 homes. And again, I think all of them are the models, but the production of the homes started already. So we're going to start seeing CFOs on that project fairly soon. Ladera, similar thing. They're currently under construction. Again, the models are I believe almost done, almost completed, 176 units there. Heritage Village, this is a multi-family project, condo, 162 condos. Again, they're under construction as well, no CFOs yet. The next 3 projects, these are projects that have been in the books for a while. 2 of them were approved in the county, and we haven't seen any movement on those, but those are pretty big communities that once they start construction, obviously it's going to have a pretty good impact on schools. First one is Cantalina, 935 units. We know that the specific plan actually has a school site that is going to help the area. Golden Meadows, that's roughly 553 units. It also has a park, but we haven't seen any activity on that project yet. The next one, which we expect to see activity pretty soon, that's Menifee Valley specific plan. That's adjacent to Heritage High School. The city did approve a specific plan that included up to 1,700 units. Now that the tentative maps come in, I think the number's going to be below that. So the specific plan did analyze a worst case scenario. We don't think we're going to hit the 1,700 units, but we're most likely going to see construction probably in the next few months on the residential. That project also includes some industrial development as well as some commercial development. And then the last section of projects, those are the ones that are currently in process. Some of them, they do go through the entire process getting title. Some of them, they get placed on hold. Others start construction right away. So out of the 7 projects there, 2 actually, Menifee 27 was actually approved by the commission last night. That's 190 units. That's on the north side of town. And also we have Cypress Sands, which is 132 townhomes. That's going to go before the commission next month as well. The other projects, they're in the initial stages, so we probably are 6 to 8 months away from getting those projects approved But as you can see, we do have a good number of units that are still in the pipeline. I do want to bring your attention to some of the tools that we have, especially what we call the land development map. You can access that map off of our website, and what's nice about it is that it's going to list all the projects within the city limits. You can click on the parcel, and it's going to tell you whether it's residential, commercial, how many units, what's the square footage. It's going to tell you who the planner is in charge of the project. It's going to have their phone numbers. So if you have specific questions or if you want a status of any of those projects, that's the easiest way to get the information. So with that, if you have any specific questions about any of the projects, I'll be more than happy to answer any questions.
Yeah, I have a question on the Ladera project that's up on Valley Boulevard.
Mm-hmm.
What decides our city that we're going to rip our hills apart? Oh, thank you. Who makes the decision when we have a project like the one up on Valley Boulevard that's ripping our hills apart? This has been something that I think has been an aesthetic thing for our community. And when I saw what was going on up there, I'm there once a week because I do patient care at Menifee Living. And I was just wondering, I know this probably goes to the Planning Commission and things of that nature, but I didn't even think that type of area would be saleable, that we would be protecting that area, because my understanding, there were some areas in Menifee that our city did decide to protect. Anyhow, that's my question.
No, it's a very good question. Some of our hills are zone open space, which restricts development. Some areas that are hills are not designated open space because they're privately owned and are zoned for residential, and those obviously have the opportunity to be developed. We do have in our development code an ordinance that allows the developers to not impact the hills as much, and we allow them to kind of shift the density on the areas that are more flat, therefore by preserving the hills. So we do have it in the code, and we've been successful in using it, but again, there are some properties that are zone residential that as long as they meet all the standards, we have to allow them to proceed.
Any other questions, Dr. Root? Here.
I said this last year, exact same thing. Just a reminder that when it says school site, that doesn't mean that the builder is putting a school site there. That means we have the ability to purchase the land and pay to build a school site. And so I always think that's a little misleading because we need our community to know, because having been a former school CBO, there's not a good funding mechanism for school facilities in California, and so it's through the generosity of our community. And whereas we're very thankful that our community passed a $205 million bond for our school district, I just always have to bring that up because the school site's not built. It's just, and we do love that the land's there. We do appreciate the plots there, not being unappreciative, but just have to always clarify that for folks that don't know that, because all of our school districts will need support, as we are one of the few growing cities in the state, thankfully.
Any other questions, comments? All right. Thank you, Orlando. With that, we're going to move over to Public Works. So Nick Fidler is our Public Works Director. He's going to be speaking about our public infrastructure projects that we have underway, including our safe routes to school and other safety-related projects. So Nick.
Well, good afternoon again. Nick Fidler, Public Works Director. I have the pleasure of serving the city in also not only the Land Development Division, but also our Capital Improvement Program. Our Capital Improvement Program oversees just over $1 billion 5-year capital improvement program. So we have several projects to keep up with the growth of our city. And a lot of those projects are adjacent to and supporting schools. I'm going to focus on those projects today. As part of the handout, you'll see a list of projects that are in construction. I will go over quickly on those because I have a list of what's coming up as well that unfortunately didn't make it into the agenda, but we can get that to you if you would like to see it as well. The Bradley Road widening at Paloma Valley, that's complete. That was a minor widening to extend sidewalks to the Paloma Valley High School. We just completed a pedestrian crossing on Audie Murphy Ranch. That was, again, to help the community, but it also supports the students as they're going to and from the community, and a lot of them go to the ranch house after school. So it's kind of a dual project. The Paloma Wash pedestrian bridge is, I'm not sure if many of you saw the massive crane that was here a couple weeks ago, setting that bridge in place. We are continuing to complete that project, and we're working on the columns now. We anticipate to be complete with the pedestrian bridge in mid-December, weather permitting. Jumping into future projects that we're working on that will have the greatest impact to the schools in our neighborhood, we have Evans Road and Craig Avenue traffic signal. So that's Dr. Root is clapping because that one, if you go out there in the morning, that's a big hurdle point. Antelope Road resurfacing, that will help Bell Mountain Middle School, and also MSJC will be resurfacing Antelope all the way from just around Craig Avenue all the way up to Aldergate. And as part of that resurfacing project, we'll be improving bicycle lanes. So it'll improve the accessibility with the students. We have a citywide pedestrian crossing improvements. This is an HSIP, Highway Safety Improvement Program project. This will add 5 rapid rectangular flashing beacon crossings adjacent to schools. We have 3 that are very close to the Ethan A. Chase Middle School. We have 1 that's close to Quail Valley Elementary School, and then 1 next to Callie Kirkpatrick Elementary School. So those are, we're improving the pedestrian access at those locations. Then we have the Garbani Road drainage improvement. Most of you are aware that if you have schools at Menifee Valley Middle School on a good rainy day, you better bring waders because it's pretty deep to cross Garbani. So we're working with Riverside County Flood Control District to install a box culvert to help students access that school dry. And then we have Romoland Elementary School ATP. This is again adding bicycle and pedestrian facilities to improve the access to that elementary school. And then another ATP project at Watson Road and on Briggs Road for Harvest Valley Elementary School. Those are significant grants, I think totaling over $9 million worth of improvements to facilitate pedestrian and bicycle access to both of those schools. And we have a minor widening on Briggs Road at Thousand Trails. This will help support some of the access to South Shore. We have a lot of new communities that are developing off of Briggs Road, and we had Rockport Ranch, and then we have Nautical Cove, and then we have Banner Park South. This will help the students be able to get to that school safely by completing both pedestrian and bicycle lanes to get to that South Shore Elementary. And then we have a couple park lighting projects that we're working on. These projects will install sports field lighting for a lot of the students that play after school sports for our community. So I have a lot more of the projects going on, but I always get blamed for talking too much. So if you have direct questions that you would like to ask, please feel free to.
Does anybody have any questions about capital projects we've got?
Nick, this really isn't a capital improvement, but it's something that I'm very aware of. At the corner across from the Catholic Church up on Murrieta Road, we have a crosswalk there. And people, of course, including myself, cross there every week. Now, a few months ago, all the lights that were on that crosswalk, I guess, got hit by a car or something.
Yeah, that
So
was
for the
probably
last-
the 4th time that they've been hit by the cars.
Yes,
So,
and
yeah.
I imagine it's a real problem for us. they have a cone in the middle, and of course they still have that button there that you can push. But I was just wondering, is there a plan to do something in that area?
Yes, we're working towards putting a raised curb all the way around that. What he's talking about is we have a rectangular rapid flashing beacon in the middle of Murrieta, and we've tried every device to highlight it as much as possible, but somehow it's like a magnet to cars. So now we're working towards a small project to put a raised median. It'll become like a little refuge island in the middle of Murrieta to protect it. So this will be our third type of device we've added to that device to protect it. It's going to be a little bit more substantial, but yes.
Well, I'm happy that you're doing something. Yeah. Do you have a suspense date of when that might be completed?
Yeah, we're working on a contract with an annual contractor for concrete work. So once we get that in place, that will be one of our first projects.
Thank you, Nick.
Yep.
I'll bring this back to Romoland, but I'll start by saying, as a lifelong resident of Riverside County, I've seen miles and miles of farmland be developed, warehouses in particular, and so often the infrastructure is not built for it. Freeway as an example, 215, number of trucks. But in lobbying for Romoland School District, mine is more of a comment than a question, which is thinking ahead to like Romoland, homeland, rural spaces now being developed with a lot of housing, a lot more cars on the roads, cars getting to our schools, and we need the roads and sidewalks developed as quickly as possible. And I just don't want the more rural areas or impoverished areas of the city to be forgotten. That happens a lot. I've seen it across our county for a lifetime. And so I'm just lobbying for Romoland to be remembered.
Yeah, and I can provide some context to that because it's these big projects, these industrial projects that bring in the infrastructure. We have one project that will be bringing in $29 million worth of roadway infrastructure specifically in the Romoland area. So that's how the city builds its network, is through development. We do fill in the gaps with our capital improvement program in areas that we don't foresee development occurring. So that's typically the biggest tool to build our infrastructure is land development. And they're the ones that also pay the fees, which we collect developer impact fees, we collect TUMP fees. Those are the fees that we use to fill in the gaps, much like schools use the schools fees or permit fees as well to build the schools as they come. So that, yes, we do take that into consideration, and we try to make sure that as these developments come in, that they mitigate the impacts that they're creating on our community with infrastructure.
And Nick, I had a question. So one of the biggest traffic pinches we have is school pickup and drop off from Catherine Newport Middle School along Normandy Road. And with the certificates of occupancy being issued to the Boulders, and then this other project being Boulders East, kind of in progress, what are we looking at any improvements or enhancements to the bike lane that's there to make that safer for higher volume? Is there a traffic light considered for anywhere in there? What are we going to do for that additional traffic at Berea and Newport? I mean, Berea and Normandy, especially at that time of day.
That's a good question. It is going to be a lot more traffic within that area. It's still going to generate the same. They'll be more spread out throughout the day as well because there's other services there. So we will be monitoring it. We do not currently have a planned traffic signal, but that is something that we will evaluate to put on and check it through warrants. But we are looking at ways to increase capacity of that intersection and making sure that we have appropriate signing and biking. And
just as a quick follow-up to that, do we have I know Boulder's ribbon cutting is supposed to be next week or the week after, I think next week. Do we have any plan in place for the initial influx of traffic, putting patrol officer out there or something? I mean, it could be anybody. It could be a community services officer, whatever. But do we have any traffic management plan for the initial influx of additional people?
When these type of communities, they develop over time. They're not going to have 200 families move in at once. So yeah, as it ramps up, we will definitely have to monitor it and keep it under constant visual as it's opening up. So as people start to move into that community, it will start to get more congested. Right now, the commercial building is only the shell. They still have their tenant improvements they still have to complete. Probably the biggest thing that will kick off first is there's a daycare on this site, and as those students start to increase through the daycare, those morning peaks, trips, drop-offs we'll definitely have to start monitoring, as that's probably going to be the biggest influx that you'll see on that community at one time.
Anybody else have any questions, comments? We had a couple of people that have joined us, so I do want to make sure they have an opportunity to introduce themselves.
Nick, when is the daycare going to be open?
I don't know that date. The ribbon cutting is coming up, so we'll find out. Yeah. Yeah, as Mayor Pro Tem Carwin said, I believe the ground ribbon cutting ceremony is next week.
All right, so for the people that have joined us, I want to give them an opportunity to do a quick introduction before we move on.
Hello, I'm Steve Campos, Paris Union High School District School Board President.
And over here.
Morgan Singleton, Menifee School Board.
All right, I don't think we missed anybody else. All right, so thank you, Nick. Next on the list, we have Chief Chris Carr with our Menifee Police Department. He's going to be talking about, among other things, our e-bike ordinance, school threats, and educational efforts that are underway at our schools. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to you, Chief.
All right, thank you very much. I do want to start with, thanking all the districts here for their partnership. I think we've come a long way. Our officers appreciate it. Our assigned school resource officers appreciate the support and just the daily interactions and the meetings that I have. And so I do appreciate all of you being here. You'll see over the last year, we were able to complete 20 different safety or outreach formal events that included teen driver safety, e-bike safety, internet safety being a big one, social media practices, and then reach out for like career days and first responder games, as well as the trunk or treat. So I appreciate all that response. And that's in addition to our daily interaction with our school resource officers at the high school and middle school levels. A bigger highlight here, threats against persons at our schools. We saw about a 30% reduction this year over last year. So kudos to the teams and the administrators supporting them, helping us with education on campus and seeing these threats reduce. A big one, as we all see the pressures of e-bike. This city, we were able to get our e-bike ordinance passed this year. We've spent a lot of time at the middle school and high schools talking with students, talking with parents, using social media resources and using your media resources to push out educational topics. We're still going to ask that we continue to see that support and then come up with any collaborative ideas that you may have of things that you want to see as far as education and then enforcement around your campuses. The state is also recognizing this, and we're seeing laws update as of July. Purchasing requirements have changed, as well as stricter enforcement and regulations over the speeds. Coming January, there will be an actual enactment that will require even the batteries to be certified through certain manufacturers, keeping the speeds down, as well as the life and then the overheating of some of the issues that have been out there. So we do appreciate even our state legislation helping us with something that I don't think any of us anticipated, this surge of e-bikes out there in the world. As a topic coming forward, we do have the Every 15 Minutes program. It will be at Heritage High School for our inaugural event this spring. I know we're still knocking out a couple of final dates for that. But again, thank you for the partnership. Thank you for the support. And, you know, we're looking for our allied agencies and really appreciative of them coming forward with us on this as well. And then technology-wise, just so you guys know, we brought it to council last April. We will be launching our drone first responder program as well. So when we talk about school safety and just response times, if we do have any type of incidents around campuses, we will be able to get eyes overhead rather quickly, as well as the coordination of ground units in the area. So those are some programs that we're really looking forward to seeing come to fruition here in the next month. And that'll wrap up what I have. If you have questions for me, please.
Thank you, Chief. Does anybody have any questions about what's going on our law enforcement front?
Bob's going to start us off again.
Chief, I just got the question about these speed restrictions. You talk about that they're going to be modified on exceeding 28 miles per hour. How are we going to really enforce that when the bikes are being sold at these speeds, and you're saying the maximum speed allowed on public highways actually is going to be 20 miles per hour? How's that going to be enforced?
So that's actually one of the pieces that comes in January, where the governor had signed the new regulation. The bikes that were already manufactured cannot exceed with electric power over 28 miles an hour. And people were modifying them. We know that they were reducing removing the governors and doing what they could, the little electric solenoids. They were buying aftermarket parts. What we saw with this legislation and the signature of the governor was stricter enforcement, making the penalties much steeper than they were. And that'll just be us pacing them, doing what we need to do as we catch them. You know, you cite them for the violations. There'll be obvious signs of tampering.
Sure. Well, thank you.
Hey, Chief. First of all, amazing job with this trend right here on threats against a person at school. What was done to credit this drop, and is there anything more we can do to keep it trending even lower?
Yeah, so this is just a lot more interaction with our SROs on campus. They did make an enforcement or an actual effort to meet with select students' classrooms, if you will, and just take advantage of that personal interaction to educate. And then when you saw the enforcement, when you see that we're making physical arrests of students for these types of threats, and that it becomes a non-tolerance and it's not just administrative, you see the behaviors change. And a lot of that was the willingness of our officers to first speak with staff, have that education level so that they understood we're not being overly punitive, but we are trying to reduce these kinds of trends. And then again, using the media, a lot of information just being disseminated. People start telling on each other. When the students start turning on their buddies saying, hey, that's not funny, you see the change.
Hi. Really excited to hear about bringing the Every 15-Minute program. I was just wondering, did you were you looking at it in like early spring, late spring, or?
I heard that we're trying to get April because we want to stay between the Easter break and then get there before we hit prom. So we didn't want to impact some of the other services going on that the schools already have. So I do believe it's somewhere going to be in April.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else have questions, comments they'd like to share? So we've got a couple of additional people that have joined us, so I'm going to let them quickly introduce themselves, and then we'll turn the time over to Chief Scoville.
Hi, good afternoon. I'm Tammy Jackson. I'm a senior director over at Springs Charter Schools. We have a location here in Menifee, Bear River, Newport.
And then, Michael, do you want to introduce yourself?
I'm Michael Gray. I'm the assistant director at Santa Rosa Academy. Thank you.
Beautiful. Welcome to you both. All right, so now we're going to hear a little bit more about what's going on with CAL FIRE Riverside County Fire Department. And so I'm going to turn the time over to Chief Mark Scoville.
Good afternoon. So let's call it the Menifee Fire Department, and we're here to serve. So some of the things that we do is we offer a lifesaver program. The lifesaver program is a CPR. Every one of your teachers need it, and it's offered for free through the city. The sign up is on this. Please give it wide distribution. We like to make sure that our teachers are well qualified in the art of CPR. We also have a CERT program. It is an art, I'll tell you, it works. Our CPR, or our CERT program is for a community emergency response team. Those teams are met every quarter. They have a training every quarter on a Saturday. That team meets at a fire station. They're taught different types of rescue techniques, so they can be, if we have a catastrophic event that happens within the state of California, everybody has at least an idea of, one, the incident command system, and then two, some sort of technique to help somebody get out from underneath a collapsed building without themselves, and knowing and recognizing the dangers so they're not putting themselves in harm's way while they're doing those rescues. We also participate in many, many school events, and we will continue to participate in every one of those events. So contact your local fire station, set it up on a calendar with them, and they will be at whatever event you guys ask them to, and if they're not, you let me know. All right, that'll be the end of my report.
Anybody have any questions, comments about some of our outreach educational programs that we have available? Hopefully you are all taking advantage of that, encouraging your teachers and students to participate. Next CERT training. When is that taking place? Do you?
It's the second Tuesday of each month from 6 to 8, and on the website, I believe it is updated, and I cannot tell you when the next one is. I will look it up and find out for you.
Yeah,
Yeah, every quarter we put on the 3-day weekend training where they are taught those techniques about rescue. So
Do you know what month that is, or when the next one coming up is?
I know that the last one was held 2 weeks ago. So 2 weeks from now, probably next year, sometime January.
Thank you.
I'll get that answer for you, and I'll send it out.
All right, so we are now going to turn the time over to Edna Aguilar. She's our assistant city clerk. She's going to be talking about a great new program that we're very excited to bring on board. That is our Menifee Leaders of Tomorrow Youth and Government program. So Edna, take it away.
Right, well, thank you, Rebecca. I am so excited to be here with everyone. Is it on? Can you hear me? Speaker, okay. Can you hear me? I have a big voice. Okay, well, I am still very excited to introduce to you the city's inaugural Menifee Leaders of Tomorrow program. This is a free 8-week pilot program that will be open to high school juniors and seniors that live in the city or attend a Menifee high school. The program application period is set to open early summer 2026 with the expected program launch date in the fall of 2026. Through this 8-week course, students will have an opportunity to gain insight into how local government works, develop their professional and leadership skills, and be mentored by a city staff member to learn how the specific department works, as well as fundamentals of staff report writing, which would ultimately lead to a mock council meeting. At the end of the program, each student would receive a certificate of completion. We do look forward to working with everyone in order to gain student participation, as well as sharing an opportunity to partner with you guys and share this opportunity to students and parents alike. I do not have my contact information on the flyer, but I do have business cards, and I'll hang out after if you guys would like that.
All right, thank you. And anybody have any questions about that program? We're really excited to be able to bring that on board. It mirrors a lot of what we do with our Citizens Academy, but really geared to our youth in our community, which I think will be a great development opportunity for them. So,
I have a question.
Is there a number of students you're looking for the program?
Yeah, so at this point, we are looking at about 18 students as a pilot program, yeah.
And is there any way that we can get students to be able to start applying before the end of this school year?
Before the end of this current school year. So we are looking at opening the application in the summer, so we would be looking at launching in the upcoming year. But in the next few months, and as a pilot program, we are looking to keep an interest list.
Okay.
So I can connect with you,
There
and
you
then
go.
we can go ahead and get that going.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Edna, do we have any further questions? No? All right. Well, now we're going to move ahead. I am pleased to report that according to this chart, we're ahead of schedule. Next is item number 5.2 on the agenda, which is the opportunity for our school representatives to give us their updates. So why don't we start over this direction?
Well, good afternoon, everyone, again. I just got a few updates I'd like to give you. Okay. Can everybody hear me okay? We're going to have a new school opening, a grand opening for our Hans Christensen Middle School. This past week, our board has decided the name Hans Christensen Academy. It's going right now, it's a middle school with 6th, 7th, and 8th. But next August, it will be a K-8 for Hans Christensen. And we're really pleased to let the people know in our community that there'll be a school for elementary close by to their homes. We also have a great program at our schools called ELOP. It's Extended Day Programs. And these programs are available at all our schools for students when they finish their day, depending on what time the day finishes at elementary or at middle school. It's an extended day program that we partner with the Boys and Girls Club here in our community to work with our students in tutoring and also in many other programs at the school in the afternoon, and that goes till 5 o'clock. So this has been a great program for our families. And we also have a nutritious meal for them in the afternoon so that this is helpful to the families. I got a long list of things on here, but I think I'll just stop there so that other people can have, I surely have taken up some of your time. Thank you.
Well, Bob stole obviously some of the best thunder. But again, first of all, starting with appreciation for the staff. Many of you know I call day, night, weekends, holidays, and you guys always pick up. You always get done what we need to get done, including the yellow stripes on the street. Thank you, Nick Fiddler, because almost had head-on collision personally with about 3 cars coming this way, and I told him about it. It was fixed, and I appreciate that. We've grown. We're over 12,600 kids, which is about 2,000 more kids than when I started 5 years ago, and continuing to grow. Some of the fun things, we just had a bike safety event. One of the things we've known since we've been here, safety is an issue. We had over 250 people come out to that. We will be looking at e-bike safety. It's one of our district goals this year, is ingress and egress of schools. And so focusing on that and what we can do to educate in that area. We have brought back general education transportation to Menifee Union School District with one route. For many of you who have been asking for transportation for years and wondered why a previous board got rid of it, it's because we were funded in education by a 1982 statute. You were funded for transportation under your 1982 enrollment/ADA. So think about Menifee in 1982 and in 2020. We had very little funding, and so we didn't even have enough to fund what we legally had to do. And so about 2 years ago, there was a change in funding. We now get a 60-40. We get a reimbursement the next year from the state, and so it's always been a priority of our board to bring it back. So our first route started about 2.5 weeks ago up on Encanto and is bringing the children up over McCall, back down Menifee to Freedom Crest. And so that route will stay in play until what Mr. O'Donnell mentioned, Hans Christensen Academy, recently 2 days old, is operational, TK8. And so then we'll be looking at some other areas where we want to put busing in because of some of the things that you talked about, Mr. Carwin. And so we're looking at that to expand as we can. And if you know anybody who'd like to be a bus driver, we will train you, and we'd love to have you. We are also, Mr. O'Donnell alluded to Hans Christensen Academy. We will be having a ribbon cutting in January and invite people to come. It's going to be a design academy. So it's basically project-based learning, meaning that kids do projects for learning, but it takes it to the next level in they're using that learning to solve the problems in the environment and in the world. And so I was talking with Brian Jones at Trunk and Treat last Friday, or Saturday actually, in our parking lot, and really want to work with the city because we think there's some great infrastructure issues and things that our kids can have input on and feedback on, and it can be a great partnership. We're looking forward to that. Expanding our preschool, we received more grant funding, and so we're looking at where we can place preschools in the future because our preschool population is growing. Our school's been recognized highly throughout the last year. We were recognized nationally with Public Relations Awards for our Limitless Futures podcast, as well as our State of the District, which many people in this room attended. And so we're very proud of that. We were named a Model SARB district, one of 20 in the state, for attendance and re-engagement, getting kids back to school. We sent them home for COVID, and they figured out they like staying home. And so we've had to bring them back. And so Model SARB award, as well as we just in December, we'll be receiving a California School Boards Association Golden Bell Award for our attendance and re-engagement as well. We're just honored as an educational results partnership district, which means that we are closing the achievement gap. One of, I think it was 183 districts in the state, and 2 of our schools, Shirk Boris and Harvest Hill Steam Academy, recognized as educational results partnership schools. Tawila Elementary School was named a California Distinguished School, one of, I think it was 323 throughout the state. Proud of that. We got to go to the Disneyland Hotel and be recognized for that back in May, and Mr. Singleton thought we were actually going to get to go into Disneyland that day. I'm like, no. We get to go to a banquet. He did. We also received U.S. Best School Awards for multiple elementary and multiple middle schools. Our next project construction-wise is Menifee Elementary School, reopening that. And so we are in the process of starting that process. We have plans together and moving forward with that. And then we are actually the proud new owners of just a few days ago of a new district service center off the freeway on Ziders. It's one of those big warehouses, and we'll be putting our cafeteria services in there, and that'll be to be able to build a central kitchen so that we can have even more scratch cooking than we already have, as well as our maintenance yard as well. And then I just want to invite everybody. We're having a resource fair right in our parking lot on Saturday from 10 to 2, and hopefully some of you guys are part of our resources. Thank you. We can do this.
Back to Romoland, thank you. Yay, Menifee, by the way. That's awesome. It really is awesome. And growth is part of the story, right, for the city. And Romoland School District, serving the north end of Menifee, also serves parts of Winchester and parts of Paris. So we just opened a new school, a TK through 8 school in Paris. That's Granite Hills TK through 8 school. And next year we'll be adding preschool to that school. We were proud this year to go over the 5,000 student mark. So when I began in the district 12 years ago, we had 3,200 students and 5 schools. And so now we feel like with 10% growth since last year in our enrollment, we can't build the schools fast enough. I remember that feeling. I worked in Temecula schools in 96, 97. With 12% growth per year, the schools could not be built fast enough. So we're looking to build the next school near Heritage High School in that giant Menifee Valley development in 2030. That's our timeline right now, to open that school in 2030, and it would be an elementary school. So we are grateful for all the maps about all the development and all the updates. It's interesting just to watch it happen so quickly. And that's why I lobby again for infrastructure and roads support with sidewalks and roads and widening roads if possible. So I'll speak to the e-bikes thing. We're seeing a need for education in the elementary schools now. We're seeing those 4th and 5th graders really riding the bikes. So we are grateful for our partnership with our SRO, and Officer Jack could could do some of that education for us. So it's been really helpful to do the education at the middle school level, and we're going to take that to the elementary level now. And then crossing guards, something to consider. City support with crossing guards. You know, we have so much traffic around the schools. I feel like I'm repeating that, but crossing guard support would be great. And road improvements, which I already discussed, and 10% growth, traffic around the schools. That's what I wrote down. We're doing a lot of other great things, but I'm just grateful for the partnership with the city.
I need to add on to Dr. Root's comment about the significance of the turnaround in the chronic absenteeism rate in Menifee Union. It is a huge undertaking, and they made a significant improvement in just 1 year. Kudos to your staff, all your principals, and all of your school staff under your principals. I just happened to take notice earlier this month when I was looking at our own attendance data, and I noticed, because it reports out the local district and the county and the state along with your own school's data, and I noticed, I was like, wow, that was a huge jump. And then hit the papers not too long later that you got announced for the CSBA Golden Bell Awards. So that's a well-earned distinction. So congratulations to Menifee Union. Santa Rosa Academy, thanks to our friends, our partners rather, here at the City Hall. Menifee, Monterey Hall is well underway, and our target opening date for it is next school year, so we'll be moving into the facility next summer. So it's an exciting time. It's the last stage of development on our campus in the Menifee Town Center. And also something that recently occurred this year, our school was rated the #1 K-12 school in Riverside County. So for our 21st year in existence, we're happy to receive that distinction. Well, I'll hand the mic over to him, and he's just going to tell you how wonderful students are. Well, it was actually on the short list of things that the students were voting on.
I really don't have anything, and you did well. Well done. Which way do you want me to go here? Okay.
All right, so again, I'm with Mount San Jacinto College, and gosh, we are going through a lot of change, a lot of growth. That really is the theme with a lot of our areas. But just wanted to share some exciting developments that are coming super soon. If you spend any time on our Menifee campus, you may have noticed a really big building in the middle of campus that just sits there, that hasn't had students in it. It is nearing the end of that project. So that's our STEM building. The building will house biology, chemistry, physics. It's a beautiful building. It'll allow us to expand the number of those science classes that we offer. We are doing our best to actually open it this coming spring. So we're really coming close. We're going to kind of take a test run in November. There will be some PR around that event, and I know there will be a ribbon cutting coming for that relatively soon. So we've been waiting for that to open for a long time. Really great opportunity for the students of our area, primarily because that's one of the areas that we have wait lists for our classes like crazy. So the students of your community want those classes. The more building that we do in those areas, the more opportunity that we're opening for them. Next year we have I should say, once that building opens up, the next step then will be, we have secondary effects planned that will essentially replan that campus and really make some good improvements there. So we have a student services building that has a fence all the way around it. We can't take that fence down until we get to the secondary effects portion. Our nursing program and all of our allied health programs operate out of the Menifee campus. We are going to shift some things around and actually provide more space for those programs once we're able to do some movement. Speaking of our nursing program, that's one of our most popular programs that we have, and we're not able to offer enough seats. We doubled the size of the program to 76 students a couple of years ago. We're working to increase that number again. And the biggest barrier to that is that those students need clinical appointments in hospitals and medical industry areas. And so our folks are working hard to open up more of those seats for students. We also have coming in the fall, in our computer science area, we're actually launching an AI concentration to our associate's degree in computer science. That's all the talk these days, so we're really looking forward to providing some instruction in that area. A couple of other allied health programs that we're really proud of. We have a radiologic tech program that launched a cohort this last year. We had to pause it for a year because of some issues with the program, and we are now confident that we're relaunching for next fall. That is a hugely beneficial industry for students to get in. Great salaries, great opportunities in that area. That's another one that has very limited enrollment because of clinical partnerships. So lots of interest. Very few students are able to get in, but we're one of the few colleges that's able to offer that. We also offer a diagnostic sonography program, another very much in demand, very small program that we're able to offer. And so through some county dollars, we're actually purchasing brand new equipment for that program as well as our nursing program to completely move in a state-of-the-art direction. So in the coming year, 2 years, we're going to see real modernization of those programs through the equipment that they're able to use. We also our digital media department is undergoing a project right now to create something we're calling Studio 215, which will be creating news content that is really directed at our area. We live in kind of a news desert in this area, and so mainly our primary faculty in that area really sees this as a way to serve this community, to provide content that is relevant to the folks of our district. So some exciting things. One final thing I just wanted to share. We recently went through a lot of retirements over the summer at our college, and as a result, we're doing a lot of hiring. So we're hiring 25 to 30 new full-time faculty over this coming year, which means attracting a lot of new folks to these communities. A lot of the housing areas that you're talking about, they'll be looking for homes in those areas. And so just exciting to see what those effects do to the communities that we live in. So that concludes my report, unless there are any questions.
Jeremy, I just need to highlight a piece of thanks that local schools owe to MSJC. Just with the enormous growth that you've had and the challenges that you've had, the demand is higher than it's ever been for high school students to also partake in the community college experience. And your staff has transitioned from focusing more on bringing the classes to the school campuses rather than the high school students coming to the college campus proper. So just in the past year to this year, we've tripled the number of offerings on our campus, which is huge because we're an early college, high school program. So the staff that you have and the counseling services and working out the partnerships with the area high schools has been, really helpful. Buy them some donuts or something is what I'm saying. Thanks for saying that.
Oh, you had a question. I just had a comment. I just want to say congratulations on bringing back the Rat Tech program, and definitely would love to look at some collaboration and support that's definitely needed. And for this area, I just want to give you kudos for having the awareness for that.
First of all, I want to say congratulations to Menifee Union for the award. Everybody attendance, Romulan, thank you, Mountain San Jacinto. For the programs that you are developing and the collaboration and the agreements that we have with you to support our students. I have a lot of things to share, but I want to try to summarize them, okay? So, and we are inviting you. You are the first ones that we are going to invite to the first Perris Union High School District, the state of the district. We don't have that date yet. We need to coordinate with our Board of Education, and we are going to go in more detail in terms of what I'm going to share today. But first of all, I can tell you that Perris Union High School vision and mission statements, they are based on our students. We care about our students, and we have developed 5 fundamental pillars that they support that vision. They are teaching and learning, community engagement, management, fiscal responsibility, systems of supports, and leadership organizational unit. I know that one of the main elements, and we are going to go, when we go to the state of the district, in depth on these pillars. I know that the community is really interested and concerned about the safety, right? The safety of our students and our staff. I want to take the opportunity to say thank you to the Menifee Police Department, Chief. Thank you to, in coordination with the Sheriff Department, also the Riverside County Sheriff Department, we have reduced a 66.9% on fights in all campuses during the October 24th to February 25th compared to 23-24. And that couldn't have been accomplished without the coordination, the support of our SROs and all of our staff, our campus supervisors, director of security, our teachers, administrators. But this is huge because we identified this last year in October. That's when we started working on this area, and we took a laser-focused strategic approach to reduce the fights, and we can see the results, 66.5. Our campuses are enforcing the cell phone policy, keeping our students focused and learning. That is really, really important. Our campus security participated in the PROACT training. These are procedures for working safely with special needs students. We want our staff to be knowledgeable, to know what are the different behavioral manifestations of our students based on their specific disabilities, and with that knowledge, be able to provide the right support to our students. We install new Knox boxes to allow for after-school access to our law enforcement. That is something that I don't remember if it was brought up here last year, right? Yeah. So we are taking notes of everything, and we are making things happen because that is the important thing, right? I want to say thank you to the police department because through you we have confirmed a traffic light for the intersection of Briggs and McLaughlin at the corner of Heritage High School. So we really appreciate that. I want to share with you that we met with the Riverside County Supervisor, Mr. Washington, in order to discuss the e-bike safety, the issues of the lack of sidewalks that are around Liberty High School specifically, because there have been some accidents there with students that they are walking even or riding their bikes on the roads because there are no sidewalks. And we already started working on that because we are not going to wait until something bigger happens and one of our students gets seriously hurt. That is a huge price to pay, and we are not going to afford that. We cannot, and we will not afford that. So thank you to Supervisor Washington. We are working with him in those areas. Also, there is a detective from Menifee, the Menifee Police Department who provided training to our staff regarding the disability autism. That is really important that all of our staff members that they know this spectrum, because there are different levels, as you know. So that is very powerful. So I just want to say that 66.9% reduction in our fights district-wide. Chief, thank you also for implementing the every 15 minutes. That is something marvelous. It's something great, because if we can save the life of only one student, create that awareness about that situation, that is very worthy. There is no price for that. There is no, I don't have words to say how I appreciate that, because that can benefit our students. I can share with you in terms of continue with safety. We are working on having all our sites, all our campuses, they are going to have a single point of entry. Also, we are asking all of our staff to wear their IDs. If I go to a school, and I was at Paloma Valley the other day, and I left my ID in my car, we are asking our staff, and they already know, they are going to raptor us, right, and get a badge. So every adult that is in any of on our campuses, they need to have the identification. We cannot afford to have anybody that they don't have any business in our campus being around our students. So that is really, really, really important. Any questions about safety so far? And more information is going to be at the state of the district, and you are already invited. I want to send you the emails. Any questions related to safety? Okay. The next one, management and fiscal responsibility. Probably you know, last year when I started, I have more than a year as a superintendent, we had a projected deficit spending of $4 million for the 24-25 school year. So with the support of the board and different strategies, different ways that we were able to implement, that deficit spending, when we closed our books, what it was, Dr. Williams, in September, last month, from $4 million deficit spending to 6.8 on the black. On the black. You believe that? More than $10 million there. We increase our ADA. With the ADA, our students need to be in school in order to learn. We increase it from 88.5% that it was the previous year to 90.65%. That is a 2.15% increase in ADA. So supporting our students to be in school. And our goal, now that we have the new regulations, right, and thank you to Dr. Ruth that she started sharing also some ideas. We appreciate, we are collaborating. Our goal is to increase this ADA to 94% during this 25-26 school year. Today we have a meeting during the principals meeting, and yesterday we have a meeting with the auditors, because I just want to mention this, I think this is important. We need to really not only support our students, but also if they come to school and they are there and we can recover attendance, we need to have systems in place that they are going to allow us to bring that recovery, that attendance. A few years ago, we have a situation that it was not, those systems in place were not there. Last year, they were identified, thank you to Dr. Egan's. I can say she's an expert in attendance, right? We identified those situations and we were able to recover $300,000 from the previous year because the system was not designed and the systems in place that we had, they were not, we were not able to recover that money. But we already made those adjustments. So that is in terms of the budget, of the fiscal responsibility. And let me tell you one thing, I'm really excited because we are not making decisions by ourselves. It's not our assistant superintendent, Dr. Williams, the one making those decisions. We have a budget advisory committee where we have students, community members, the associations, board, labor, groups. They are participating, and together we analyze everything in order to see how we are going to continue with our fiscal responsibility. For this year, the projected budget deficit spending was $8 million, like 8 something, right? Yes, but it was brought up to 2.9 because of the increase on the black that we had last year, right? So we are moving forward there, and based on these pillars. From the academic perspective, Dr. Egan's is not only an expert in attendance, also in student achievement. We have developed the Calgetsi program. That was one of my goals when I was a board member. I started bringing the dual enrollment program. And one of the goals was back then for the students to graduate with a high school diploma and an AA certificate. So when they go to a 4-year university, they could take only 2 years and get their bachelor's degree. Okay, it was implemented to some degree, but not that many classes. Thank you to Mountain San Jacinto that they allow us to start with the implementation of that goal, of that dream. I can say, why am I saying that is one of my dreams? I told you at the beginning that my 2 kids, Joseph and Marie, graduated from Paris High School. One is a valedictorian, the other one is a salutatorian. Joseph went to UC Davis, majored in mechanical and aerospace engineering, and Marie graduated from UCLA. Imagine if they would have 2 years of college education already. Right? The benefits for them as a students and for me, for the family, also financially speaking, right? So this is huge. This is great. However, we were not able to offer those opportunities to our students. Thank you to the board. Last month, they approved a MOU with Cal State University San Bernardino that combined with our partnership with Mountain San Jacinto, we are going to be able to offer the Cal GETSI program. Cal GETSI, California General Education Transfer Curriculum, basically the general ed at a 4-year university. So I'm very proud to announce, and thank you to the board and my cabinet for the support, that this year we are implementing a pilot program of the Calgetsi at Heritage High School. So our current 9th graders, they are going to be taking their first college class next semester. I was talking with Dr. Egan and said, what is holding us to implementing this program also at Paloma Valley, at Liberty High School, and Paris High School? If it's not too late, let's make that happen, right? So we are working on that. And probably when we meet for the state of the district, we are going to be able to give you the wonderful news that is going to be implemented at every single high school with that possibility. Imagine. Yesterday, when I was, we have 2 students, Miguel and Giovanni, Miguel from Paris High School, Giovanni from Heritage. I said, can you imagine, Miguel and Giovanni, if you have 2 years already of college? So that is a big thing. That is wonderful. So thank you for all the support to Paris Union. Inland Online Academy. For years, Paris Union High School, even before when I was an assistant principal at Pinacate Middle School, we have the SOLA program, Scholar Plus, something like that. We have an enrollment of about 15, 20 students in the Inland Online. So we revamped that program. Laser focused approach and a strategic approach on the support for our students. We have different students that are facing different challenges, maybe social, emotional challenges, that they are not able to be the whole day at the school. They might be able to be only for few courses, few hours. So we have a hybrid program. So I'm proud to share with you that we have how many students at this time, Dr. Higgins? 150 plus students with a waiting list, from 15 to 20 that they were for years. Now this year we have in the Inland Online Academy. It's a hybrid program because students, they can still participate in extracurricular activities at their home school and take some classes there. We have implemented also the mariachi program at Paris High School and Pinacate Middle School. I know that there is a ballet folklorico at Liberty High School, so probably by the end of the year, we are aiming at they perform with live music, with live mariachi there. And one of my goals, hopefully, I cannot guarantee because that depends on how the students progress. They have never had that background in mariachi. For the state of the district, I would like to invite them to play the Star Spangled Banner with mariachi and El Mariachi Loco. Some of you have heard that song, right? So attendance, we talk about the attendance, we talk about the recovery, CalGETSI, high school graduation rates, A through G completion, and CTA programs. High school graduation rates. You are going to get more information at the state of the district. A strategic approach on how we are going to improve high school graduation rates. And I think Mr. Hall gave me this idea. We are a team working together on this, that these NFs in every single progress report, we just got the data. We are sharing it with our administrators. They are going to share that with our department chairs and with the teachers. Identify in the school-wide. Well, we have the data for the district-wide. Every school and every subject, specifically the 4 core classes, right? Math, English, social science, and science. What is the rate of these NFs? What are we going to do for the second progress report to reduce that % of these NFs, right? And obviously that is going to have an effect on the semester grades, right? If we start addressing those issues in the first progress report and we want our teachers to talk about it, what they think they can do and how we can support them to do that, right? So it's not only we want you to reduce this NF. No, we're on this together. Right? And what we can do? What does this have to do with these NFs, with high school graduation requirements, high school graduation rates, and A through G? Well, if they get a passing grade, right, D, C, or better, they are meeting the high school graduation requirements. But if they get a C, A, or B, also is going to have an effect on the A through G. So this is a strategic, laser-focused approach that we are so proud to be implementing this. Student voices are really important. They are part of the budget advisory committee. I meet with the students, representatives of every single school, twice a year, last year, and probably this year is going to be 3 times, to get their input. We want to listen to our students, what issues they are facing, what recommendations they have. And fortunately, we are in the same page, and we can be surprised. They are aware of the situations. They are aware of the issues, and they have really good ideas in order to address them. Lastly, I want to say thank you to Dr. Ruth. You share the wonderful idea to invite our students from Menifee to our football games. And that has happened. We have sent the invite so they can start seeing what is waiting for them at the high school level. The same thing, another idea from you that I believe you were trying to implement for several years, right? And that had not happened before, or having seniors to go to the middle schools and to the elementary schools to share that graduation and their experience with the students. Right? So I'm really glad that you presented that to us. We make things happen. It was during second semester at the end. It doesn't matter. We made it happen. So thank you for those wonderful ideas. And let's continue working together because we have one mission and the ultimate goal is our students. That's what we are here for. So thank you, Menifee, and thank you, the city of Menifee, the police department. I don't have words to really show my appreciation for everything that you are doing for our students and your support to accomplish our goals. I don't know if any of the...
So number one, I'd like to thank you all for the partnerships that we've built. It's been awesome. And one of the things that Dr. Rouse was referencing was Jason Cobb. He actually, I met him, we were giving blood one day at, I think, Impact Church. And he explained to me kind of the program that he had going, and I just thought it was a huge benefit. And the moment I found out about it, I let them know immediately because I think it's extremely important, that program that he's doing, to identify students who have autism, and so that they can kind of, the bands and the whole program. I mean, it was awesome. Funny thing, Sergeant York was my former middle school student. So kind of found out, we used to work in Hawthorne together, and so it's interesting to see all these great things happen and all the support there. I'm sorry?
The 2-day training, is that what you guys taught?
Yeah, yeah, I believe so. Yeah, it was, and I work in Temecula as a teacher in Temecula, and I've tried to spread the word on what he's doing to everybody that I know, because it's just, it's such an important program. And I want to thank Menifee Union for the project-based learning, because that, for us, has been huge, because now, at Liberty, we have the DECA program with the business pathway, which is extremely...
I was just going to respond, thank you. And we're excited because it's also at Harvest Hill, which goes straight up into Liberty as well. So we have 2 schools feeding into Heritage and Liberty that will have project-based learning and have created over the last year. Our goal, I didn't really talk about, there's so much to talk about, I'm sorry, but TK 12 pathways, so that kids are starting these adventures in TK and learning about coding and design and whatever that is, to be able to feed into the pathways at the high schools, and then from the pathways at the high schools feed into MSJC's majors as well. So a true pathway pipeline. Thank you.
Yeah, no, and that was, so when I heard that, I was like, oh, that's awesome. And because the program, they're nationally recognized at Liberty for the DECA program. It's kind of like a Shark Tank type thing. And then also MSJC with our biomed program. So hearing all those programs that are coming on, I mean, I think it's just a huge benefit that, all these things that are kind of working out together, with the collaboration of everybody. So I just wanted to say thank you for that.
And I just forgot to talk about the CTE program, and that is another undertaking, because we are aware. We know that not all the students are going to go to college, but we want to provide options for them, and good options. We were talking about having in the auto mechanic program, not only a program where the students, we have how to do basic maintenance, but we were talking with Perris Valley in order to determine, can we have a partnership with you to develop a program where our students can be certified Dodge or Kia technician, and we are looking into options for maybe Toyota technician or Ford, right? Certified technicians on hybrid engines, for example, right? Something very specific that is going to provide really good opportunities for our students once they graduate. And I would like to ask Mr. Andrade, he has done a wonderful job in HR, reaching the agreements with the associations, but even though it's not his area, doesn't belong to HR, but he's playing an important role on this CTE with his background in the public sector. The idea, we are looking into bringing those CTE for the constructions, machinists, and different things. Can you just give a really quick update?
No, just some of the programs that I worked in the private sector were creating pipelines with the community colleges and with the high schools, creating machinists, construction workers, painters, welders, things like that. And when I was a board member at Banning Unified as well, we created a whole CTE program and building. So that's some of the ideas that we want to bring into this district, where we can connect with those jobs out there. We can create those pipelines for the jobs and for MSJC, CTE, career technical programs that they have. So we can continue that partnership for our students.
Anything, Dr. Egan's, that you would like to add? No, I cover. Dr. Williams, anything that I had missed? Well, thank you so much, and thank you for all your support. I really appreciate it.
All right, thank you.
Hello. Well, if I knew I was going to get a microphone, I would have taken my time, because I like a microphone. We have 662 students at our Bear River Student Center, about 7,000 students throughout Riverside County. The classrooms over there, 12 of them are full, and 9 of them only have 1 or 2 spots, so we're maxing out that campus this year. The principal over there, Renee Gooding, has had the police department out, the fire department out, and the K-9 FEMA team this year. So thank you for your service and supporting that site. She did that on First Responders Day. So along with all the other fun community events, Grandparents' Day and things. I love these handouts. I didn't know what to expect from this meeting. I haven't been here before, but I will make sure to get your contact about the Future Leaders Program to give to the principal over there, and also the e-bike safety program, because I know she'll be interested. Thank you all.
Can you hear me? I don't know about you guys, but I smell lots of success, right? 6 years ago when we had this vision of getting the school districts together to deal with the issues of growth and then the issues of safety, we wanted to make sure that we stayed on our lane, right? Because you do the job of educating the kids, and we have to make sure that we provide safe streets and safe environment, and it just brings a heck of a lot of pleasure to my ears to hear the success you're having with not only your academic programs, but your safety in schools and some of your achievements in schools. So, I want the city to take credit for that, because we are providing a safe environment for you guys, right, to be successful. But I think overall, I mean, this is just a tremendous amount of success that we've had as a group to collaborate for our residents, our kids, to be able to provide a safe place to go to school, right? And I want you guys to know, though, that every summer our team of directors up there, they meet to make sure that they get ready for one thing and one thing only, is to get ready for day one of school. And they make sure that they understand your challenges, and they understand the requirements to make sure that we have proper signage and that drop-off areas, and our chief of police gets together with Public Works to make sure that we have the proper traffic controls in place, because everybody wants to drop off their kids in front of the school door, right, on day one. So, but I think overall we can thank each other, pat ourselves on the back for such a good job we're doing for our kids and our residents. So that's all I have to say.
And we're circling around closing remarks now. I'm going to pass it over to District 2 Council Member Ben Diedrich. High schools abound in his district.
Thank you, Acting Mayor. Is this on? Can you hear me? So I heard two things today. I heard growth and collaboration. And I think those are both great things, right? That this area, this region is booming. We are booming, and there's so much growth, new students coming in, and it's just exciting and reassuring to hear how everybody's working together, creating pathways, creating pipelines, and doing everything that we can for the students who's going to be the future leaders. They're going to come back and continue the growth of this city and this region. So I just want to thank you all for that, and I know staff and the school districts are working together too on the new school sites and making sure that they work as successfully as possible, right? We don't have bus routes, right? We don't have cross guards necessarily, but making them as safe as possible, continuing forward. So I hope that continues as well. But thank you all for being here today.
So before we wrap up, I just want to make sure that we get everything we can out of this meeting. So if there's any questions that are lingering of any of our school representatives about what's happening in the city of Menifee as it pertains to schools or plans or suggestions that you want to make for future programs, this is an opportunity to do that. One of the reasons that I love this is because we might not solve all of the district's problems today in this 2-hour meeting, but we get to see each other, and now we've got the relationship going, and you know who's who on the staff. Oh, it was on the back page. I didn't see it. I totally skipped solving all of the school's problems. We'll do that at the next meeting. So, but this one of the greatest benefits of having this summit is that we all get to sit face to face with each other, and you get to put a face to the name and all of those kinds of things, which is a tremendous partnership. I value the schools in this city as much as anyone because I'm a product of it as a parent, and my students are both of my kids. My daughter's now in law school, a sorority sister of Dr. Root, and my son went through all of these schools and now is a high school math teacher in Illinois. So all of those influences really, really worked. Both of my kids went through the dual program. So as a representative of the city, I've experienced virtually everything that you guys are doing. So I really appreciate that. So just before we wrap up real quick, any last comments or questions? Yes.
microphone again.
And let me just tell you, the reason we're doing this is because we're recording and broadcasting it. So if you just yell, unless you yell really, really loud, the people watching on TV won't be able to hear you.
I do have the teacher voice, but thank you. You know, I do get around to a lot of different meetings in cities. And one of the things that I was thinking when I was sitting here is with this growing community, this might be something of interest. Murrieta, the city of Murrieta hosts a Student of the Month program, and charter schools and public school, high schools, each one recognizes a student that the principals send out, and they have a little breakfast and the students speak, and then a student of the year. And this community seems so tight. That might be a really nice thing to add to the city of
We
Menifee.
actually do have that. The Paris Union School District, the Sizzler restaurant in Paris, hosts that very event. Through the Paris Union School District.
Oh, well, I'll make sure to hook up
It's
with
one of my
them.
favorite things to attend and
I
see
love
all the
attending it.
the achievement there. And that's
I love attending it.
I'm
Okay,
pretty
great.
sure it's probably the same program, but yeah, it's you know, Sally and her family over at who own the Sizzler. They put on a tremendous event.
Wonderful. I'm glad to hear
So
that.
great suggestion.
And done.
Let's do it. Done. One problem solved.
Success.
That's right. Well, she's building a Richie's Diner. They also own Richie's Diner. We're getting one of those, so maybe we'll get it to move over here. So, all right. So, anything else to add from our executive team? No. All right. So we'll get together and schedule the next one. But thank you so much on behalf of the city of Menifee. Thanks for coming down here. We appreciate it. Looking forward to more great success. Thank you very much.